Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Mahila Samacha Digital Classes. This is your maths tutor from Mahila Samacha High School. Dear children, I welcome you all to the class 8 Mathematics. Children, in this presentation, we will study about the quadrilaterals. Children, quadrilateral means it means four sides. Quadri means four, lateral means sides. See, a quadrilateral is a two-dimensional closed figure bounded by four sides. A quadrilateral is a two-dimensional means it is flat shape, closed, that means the lines join up, that means all the four lines join up. It is a two-dimensional closed figure bounded by four sides. We can also, instead of two-dimensional, we can say it as plane figure. A quadrilateral is a plane closed figure bounded by four sides. Children, here there is an example for quadrilateral. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which, children, see, AB is side 1, side BC, side CD and side DA are the four sides of the quadrilateral. Angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D are the four angles of the quadrilateral. Then the line segment which joins the opposite vertices of the quadrilateral is considered as diagonal. Children, the line segment which joins the opposite vertices of a quadrilateral is considered as diagonal. See here, in this quadrilateral, vertex A and vertex C are the opposite vertices. Vertex B and vertex D are the opposite vertices. The line segment which joins AC and BD are considered as diagonals. So that AC is one of the diagonal and BD is another diagonal. There are four sides, four angles, two diagonals. So these four sides, four angles and two diagonals together called as elements of the quadrilaterals. How many elements are there in the quadrilateral? Totally there are 10 elements in a quadrilateral. Which are they means? The four sides of the quadrilateral, four angles of the quadrilaterals and two diagonals of the quadrilateral. Every quadrilateral has 10 elements, four sides, four angles, two diagonals. And there are four vertices also. Now, let us know about the properties of quadrilaterals. Children, every quadrilateral has four sides. In the given quadrilateral ABCD, side AB, side BC, side CD and side DA are the four sides of the quadrilateral. Then it has four vertices. A quadrilateral has four vertices. Vertex A, vertex B, vertex C and vertex D are the four vertices of the quadrilateral. Then there are four angles. Angle ABC, angle ABC, angle BCD, angle CDA and angle DAB are the four angles of the quadrilateral. Children, here angle A and angle B are considered as adjacent angles. For angle B, angle C is the adjacent angle. For angle C, angle D is the adjacent angle. For angle D, Angle A is the adjacent angle. If we consider the angle A, angle B and angle D are the adjacent angles for angle A. For angle B, angle A and angle C are the adjacent angles. For angle C, angle B and angle D are the adjacent angles. Then for angle D, angle C and angle A are the adjacent angles. Children, totally there are 4 pairs of adjacent angles. Adjacent angles means any two angles which shares a common side. Any two angles which shares a common side. Children, here angle A and angle B. If we consider the examples angle A and angle B, for these two angles, side AB is common. So that these two angles are considered as adjacent angles. Then children, opposite angles means you can easily understand, I think. Angle A is the opposite angle to angle C. Angle B is the opposite angle to angle D. So that there are only 2 pairs of opposite angles in a quadrilateral. They are angle A and angle C, angle B and angle D. Now, if we come to the sides, side AB is opposite to side CD. So that AB and CD are the opposite sides. Side AD and side BC are the second pair of opposite sides. There are only the 2 pairs of opposite sides. But adjacent sides, if we come to the adjacent sides means, children, if we consider the side AB, for side AB, side BC and side AD are the adjacent sides. For side BC, side AB and side CD are the adjacent sides. For side CD, sides BC and side DA are the adjacent sides. For side DA, side AB and side DC are the side CD are the adjacent sides. Totally, there are 4 pairs of adjacent sides in a quadrilateral. So, which are they means? Side AB and side BC, side BC and side CD, side CD and side AD, side AD and side AB are the 4 pairs of adjacent sides. Then, every quadrilateral has 4 vertices, 4 angles, 4 sides and 2 diagonals. As we know that it has 4 sides, 4 vertices, 4 angles and 2 diagonals. Children, the total of its interior angles is always 360 degree. If we sum up the interior angles of a quadrilateral, then it is equal to 360 degree. Now, let us come to the types of the quadrilaterals. Children, there are different types of quadrilaterals. Among them, the first 2 types are simple quadrilateral and complex quadrilaterals. Simple quadrilateral and complex quadrilaterals, convex quadrilateral and concave quadrilaterals. Children, by observing itself, we can say simple quadrilateral and complex quadrilateral here. Simple quadrilaterals means the sides of the quadrilateral never intersect anywhere. Complex quadrilateral means the sides of any 2 sides of the quadrilateral intersect at a point. It is the example for complex quadrilateral. By observing itself, you can say which is the simple quadrilateral and which one is the complex quadrilateral. Then another type of classification is there, that is convex quadrilateral and concave quadrilateral. Children, let us know about convex and concave quadrilaterals. Children, Convex quadrilateral means quadrilateral in which every internal angle of a quadrilateral is lesser than 180 degree. See here, there are four angles, interior angles, angle P, angle Q, angle R and angle S. If all the four angles are lesser than 180 degree, then it is considered as convex quadrilateral. Concave quadrilateral means a quadrilateral is a concave if any interior angle is or if any internal angle of the quadrilateral is greater than 180 degree. If any one of the internal angle is greater than 180 degree. In this figure you can observe, children, angle K, angle L and angle M are lesser than 180 degree, but angle L is greater than 180 degree. A quadrilateral is concave if any internal angle of the quadrilateral is greater than 180 degree. Here angle L is greater than 180 degree, so that it is considered as concave quadrilateral. Convex quadrilateral means all the angles are, each angle of the quadrilateral are lesser than 180 degree. Children, now let us know about the different types of quadrilaterals. Children, the quadrilaterals are mainly classified into three types: kite, parallelogram and trapezoid. Parallelogram is again classified into rhombus, rectangle and square. Isosceles trapezium comes under the trapezoid or trapezium. Trapezium or trapezoid are the similar. So trapezoid and isosceles trapezoid are the same kind of quadrilaterals. That means isosceles trapezium comes under trapezium category. Then rhombus, square and rectangle comes under parallelogram category. Sometimes a rhombus is also considered as a kite. Sometimes rhombus can also be considered as kite. Now let us learn about the types of parallelograms and their properties one by one. Children, first let us know about the parallelogram. It is the most important type of quadrilateral. Children, a parallelogram is a type of quadrilateral in which, there are two pairs of opposite sides. Those opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. A parallelogram is a parallelogram. The word itself indicates that it has parallel sides. Parallel sides, which sides must be parallel means only the opposite sides must be parallel. So that we can define the parallelogram as a parallelogram is a type of quadrilateral in which opposite sides parallel and equal in length. Also, opposite angles are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are also equal. Children, now let us know about the properties of parallelograms. The first property is opposite sides are congruent. The word congruent means equal. Opposite sides are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. And opposite angles are congruent. The second point is opposite angles are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent means opposite angles are equal. Then consecutive angles are supplementary. Consecutive means we can also consider it as adjacent. The adjacent angles are supplementary. That means if we add any two adjacent angles, the sum is equal to 180 degree. So that the consecutive angles are supplementary. Supplementary means the sum is equal to 180 degree. The diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. Bisect, bi means two, sect means divides into two equal parts. diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. That means at a point of contact, they cut into two equal halves. Each diagonal of a parallelogram separates it into two congruent triangles. Each diagonal of a parallelogram separates into two congruent triangles. Congruent triangles means it divides. That means see here, if we consider the diagonal AC, it divides the parallelogram into two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle ADC. So the triangle ABC and triangle ADC are the congruent triangles. Congruent triangles means they are equal to, more or less they are equal to one another. Exactly both are equal to one another in measures. Now let us know about the rectangle. Children, a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. Rectangle comes under the category of parallelogram in which any angle is 90 degree. So that the remaining three angles also becomes as right angles. Children, a rectangle is a type of parallelogram in which any angle is 90 degree. If any one of the angle is 90 degree means the other angle also becomes 90 degree. Why? Because means we know that the property of parallelogram is the sides of, that means adjacent angles of the parallelogram are supplementary. That means if we sum up any two adjacent angles, the sum is equal to 180 degree. So that if one angle is 90 degree, another angle also measures 90 degree. Then third angle also 90 degree. Fourth angle also 90 degree. So that a rectangle is a type of parallelogram in which any angle is 90 degree. So that we can illustrate the properties of rectangles as a rectangle is a four-sided shape where every angle is a right angle. Also, opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. In a rectangle, opposite sides are parallel as well as they are equal in length. The only difference is all the angles measures 90 degree. That means all the angles are right angles. So that the name rectangle. Now let us know about the rhombus. Children, a rhombus is a type of parallelogram. Rhombus also comes under the category of parallelogram. It is a type of parallelogram where all the four sides are equal in length, only the opposite angles are equal. In case of rectangle, we find that all the angles are equal, only the opposite sides are equal. But in case of rhombus, all the sides are equal, only the opposite angles are equal. So now let us look at the properties of rhombus. See, the first property of rhombus is opposite sides are parallel. That means it comes under parallelogram, so that must and shouldly the opposite sides are parallel. Then opposite angles are equal. Not only the opposite angles, all the angles of the rhombus are equal. The diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at right angles. That means the diagonals cut into two equal halves at the point of intersection, and the angle formed at the point of intersection is 90 degree. In this figure, you can clearly observe the angle 90 degree. See here, angle formed here is 90 degree. By this we can say the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at right angles. A rhombus is sometimes called a rhomb or a diamond. It is also considered as a diamond shape. Now have a look at an interesting type of quadrilateral, that is a square. Children, a square is a type of parallelogram in which all the sides are equal, all the angles are equal, and even the diagonals are also equal to one another. In square, all are equal. That means sides are also equal to one another, angles are also equal to one another, then the diagonals are also equal to one another. Children, let us know about the definition of square. A square is a type of parallelogram in which all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal, and that too all the angles are right angles. If all the angles want to be equal means the angles must be right angles. Now let us know about the properties of square. Children, in a square all the sides are equal, all the angles are equal and they are right angles. The diagonals of a quadrilateral or the diagonals of a square are equal and they bisect each other at right angles. Diagonals are equal as I said, and they bisect each other. That means at the point of intersection they cut into two equal halves at right angles. That means the angle formed at that point is 90 degree. So that a square also fits for the definition of a rectangle and a rhombus. That means in case of rectangle, all angles are 90 degrees. So the square shares this property from the rectangle. And in a rhombus, all the sides are equal length. So the square shares this property from the rhombus. So that square is the combination of rectangle and rhombus. In a square, all the elements are equal. All the elements means there are 10 elements in a quadrilateral. 4 sides, 4 angles, 2 diagonals. 4 sides are also equal to one another. 4 angles are also equal to one another. And 2 diagonals also equal to one another. I hope you understood, children. Let us move on to the next type of quadrilateral. Children, now let us know about the kite. See, it has 2 pairs of sides which are of equal measure. See here, each pair is made up of 2 equal length sides that join up. Children, here in this figure you can observe the kite. See here 2 pairs of sides are of equal measures. See here, these 2 pair of sides and these 2 sides are equal in measure and they join up this point and here this point. The 2 equal pairs of sides join up at the end points. Then the quadrilateral is considered as a kite. That means a kite is a special type of quadrilateral in which 2 adjacent pairs are equal. Then children, see, let us know about the properties of kite. See, the angles where the 2 equal pairs meet are equal. In this figure, you can clearly observe that here angle A is equal to angle A. Why means, here see, this is one of the equal pair and this is another equal pair. At this point, the 2 equal pairs are meeting. That means intersecting. Or they are meeting at this point. So angle formed at this point is equal to angle formed at the another point of meet. Understood, children? Then the diagonals meet at a right angle. See, the diagonals meet at a right angle. They never bisect. Here they never cut into equal halves. They meet at right angles. That means angle formed at the point of intersection is 90 degree. Then one of the diagonal bisects the other. Only one diagonal bisects the other. I think this diagonal bisects this diagonal. See, this diagonal bisects the diagonal, this one. That means this diagonal divides the another diagonal into two equal halves, but they never bisect each other. This is of unequal measure. They divided into unequal length, but the one diagonal divides into equal lengths. Now let us know about the trapezium. Children, we know in a parallelogram both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. But a trapezium is a type of quadrilateral which has only one pair of opposite sides as parallel. A trapezium is a type of quadrilateral which has a pair of opposite sides parallel. Children, in this figure ABCD, trapezium ABCD, AB and CD are the parallel sides. Side AB and side CD are the parallel sides. Let us know about the properties of trapezium. Children, one pair of opposite sides are parallel. In a trapezium, one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Two pairs of adjacent angles add up to 180 degree. Two pairs of adjacent angles are add up to 180 degree. So if we add angle C and angle D, angle B and angle E, the sum is equal, angle A, the sum is equal to 180 degree. That means two pairs of adjacent angles add up to 180 degree. The two non-parallel sides are unequal. Children, here AD and BC are non-parallel sides. They are not equal in measure. Then a trapezium can be inscribed in a circle. That means we can draw a cyclic circle for a trapezium. That means we can fix a trapezium in a circle. The sum of four exterior angles is 4 right angles. That means in a trapezium, if we add all the four exterior angles, the sum is equal to 360 degree. And if we add all the four interior angles, the sum also 360 degrees. The sum of four exterior angles is 4 right angles. 4 right angles means 360 degrees. The sum of four interior angles is also 4 right angles. That means 360 degrees. Now let us know about the isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapezium is a type of trapezium in which when the two non-parallel sides are equal. See, as a property of trapezium, the non-parallel sides are unequal. If the non-parallel sides AD and BC are equal in measure means then the trapezium is considered as isosceles trapezium. Children, have a look at the properties of isosceles trapezium. The two non-parallel sides are equal. Non-parallel sides means side AD and side BC are equal in measure. The diagonals of an isosceles trapezium are equal. Diagonals means, you know, the line segment which joins the opposite vertices. Here diagonal AC and diagonal BD are equal to one another. Then an isosceles trapezium can be inscribed in a circle. That means we can draw a cyclic circle for an isosceles trapezium. Then the sum of the four exterior angles is 4 right angles. That means it is 360 degree. If we add all the 4 exterior angles, the sum is 360 degrees. Then the sum of 4 interior angles is also 360 degrees. That means 4 right angles. 4 right angle means 90 degree. 4 90s are 360 degree. So that 4 right angles. We can use the word 4 right angles or we can also use the word 360 degrees. I hope you understood about the properties of isosceles trapezium and isosceles trapezium, children. Now let us know about the perimeter and area. Children, perimeter means the distance around a figure is considered as perimeter. If your book is there, means the perimeter of your book is the sum of all the sides of your book, the sum of lengths of all the sides of your book. In the same way, the perimeter of a polygon, or if a perimeter of a quadrilateral, means the sum of all the four sides. To obtain the perimeter of any polygon, we want to add the sides of the polygon or sides of the quadrilateral. Then area means the number of square units in a flat figure. So that to find the area, we want to multiply the length and width. Children, the number of square units in a flat figure is considered as area. So by multiplying length and width, we can find the area of a figure. And some other different formulas are also illustrated to find the area of the particular parallelograms or particular quadrilaterals. Children, to find the perimeter of any polygon, we want to add the lengths of the sides of the polygon. Now, let us know about the quadrilateral formulas. That means areas to find formula to find the area of the quadrilaterals. Children, to find the area of the parallelogram, the formula is base into height. To find the area of the rectangle, length into width. To find the area of a square, the formula is side into side. Then to find the area of a rhombus, the formula is half into diagonal d1 into diagonal d2. Then to find the area of a kite, the formula is half into diagonal 1 into diagonal 2. So we can write it as half into d1 into d2. Half into d1 into d2. To find the area of rhombus and kite, the formula is same, half into d1 into d2. But to find the area of a square, the formula is side into side. Area of rectangle is length into width. Area of parallelogram is base into height. These formula help you to calculate the area of the quadrilaterals. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching this video.